Hey guys, so this is the ARTTI TR1, a pair of hybrid in-ear monitors from ARTTI. Now, a hybrid in-ear monitor is one that houses two types of drivers packed inside. So in this case, it packs a single dynamic driver as well as a balanced armature. So this usually tends to give you a balanced sound signature where each of the drivers cater to different frequencies. So I'll give you the rundown on how this works out for the ARTTI TR1 and whether this deserves a place in your pocket or backpack. So with that said, let's start with the unboxing. Now the ARTTI TR1 comes in a pretty normal packaging, nothing too fancy, pretty eco-friendly. Sliding off the outer cover, you get the inner box. Inside it, you get some paperwork. You get a number of pairs of silicone ear tips of various sizes. You get the high purity copper cable that has 2-pin connectors on one end. Now the version I have comes with an inline microphone with a multifunction control button, and it ends in a USB-C jack. You also get a carry pouch, and of course you get the ARTTI TR1 hybrid in-ear monitors themselves. Okay, let's talk about the specs of the ARTTI TR1. So as I said, this is a hybrid in-ear monitor. So it houses a single 10mm dynamic driver as well as a single balanced armature. It's got an impedance of 32 ohms. So again, while these are low impedance in-ear monitors, if you're getting the version which has the 3.5mm jack, you should definitely invest in a portable DAC, nothing too fancy, just something that can power these and make them perform to their full potential. And of course, I'll link the one that I use in the description below. Now in my case, the version I have comes with USB-C, and that has a DSP or digital signal processor packed in. So for that, you don't really need a DAC. Okay, now in terms of the build quality, so the faceplate is made of aluminum alloy and it's got a brushed finish with these gold accents, which kind of looks very nice, but the edges are kind of sharp. Now, although this has no effect on the comfort because it's the resin that's going to be resting on your ear, and that is pretty ergonomic. I didn't find any sort of ear fatigue. It didn't tire out my ears and didn't need to take it off to just give it a breather. So pretty ergonomic, gives a snug fit, and overall the passive noise isolation was also decent. Now the resin is of a brown color and it's almost transparent, so you can actually see the innards of this in-ear monitor, so you can actually see the drivers packed inside. Alright, now let's get into the main criteria, which is the audio quality. Now you guys know I test these earphones based on how they produce the three main frequencies that broadly make up any sound that you hear: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs or the treble, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals are, and the low end or the bass response. Now of course, before I give you the rundown on the highs, mids and lows, let me just tell you that I do these testings first without any sort of EQ, so it's on the original sound signature right out of the box. Now starting off with the treble response or the highs, so the highs come across as sharp and very well detailed. Now although there is no sibilance which is evident here, it does kind of tread really close to that area, but not really crossing it. Now while the instrument separation in the higher frequencies is satisfactory for the most part, it does leave a lot more to be desired. Now personally, what I did notice was that the higher frequencies overall lacked richness. It packs detail, it's got the sharpness, but it lacks richness, which makes it an overall more immersive experience. So while it is by no means poor, but there is a lot left inside, especially considering its configuration with the balanced armature that is specifically catering to the high and ultra high frequencies. It just gives you the feeling that there is a lot more it can give you, but it's holding back. Next up, we have the mid frequencies where the vocals are. Now, without any sort of tweaking, the vocals, especially male vocals, sounded a bit thin and processed. There is this lack of warmth and depth in the vocals that overall makes it sound very flat. Now while the strokes of guitars sound detailed, have ample sharpness and even good separation, they just don't sound as rich, and thus consequently they don't sound as immersive. Now again, this is obviously me being very nitpicky and being very harsh on this, but overall, although it lacks richness, depth and warmth, which otherwise would have made it more immersive, it's not bad. So there is again that same feeling like the highs, that there is a lot more being left in the tank that it's just not giving us, which it can definitely produce. And finally, we get to the low end or the bass response. Now, the bass response is going to give you hints of the mid-bass slam as well as subtle hints of the rumble of the sub-lows without doing justice to either. Now, by no means does it lack bass, because on certain tracks, It keeps dropping hints that it is definitely capable of giving you those hefty mid-bass slam as well as the rumble of the sub-lows, but the problem is it is not consistent. So basically what happens is, say you're listening to a track where you know that there is a bass drop coming, it's going to give you the build up, and right where the bass drop happens, it might just disappoint you. And then later on in the same track, it's again going to give you a hefty dose of what it can actually produce. So it is inconsistent. Okay, don't be disappointed. So I know I was harsh on the 3 frequencies because I want to give you the most in-depth feedback possible, but there is a workaround that mitigates all these shortcomings of the TR1. So like I said, it keeps dropping hints that it can produce all these 3 frequencies with much more impact, with much more immersion. It just doesn't. So what I found was that if you use or tweak the equalizer, or say use a preset, it's gonna really unlock its full potential. So in my case, I used the rock preset, and this absolutely changed how this sounds. So the highs, when I said it was lacking richness, as soon as I shifted to the rock preset, the highs became so much more immersive, packing in so much more detail, the technicality improved, the instrument separation was improved even further, and it was a much more enjoyable and pleasant experience. Same goes with the vocals. The vocals, which were sounding flat, lacking depth and warmth, they gained exactly those 2 qualities, and again it became much more immersive. It added body to the vocals and it didn't sound processed anymore. And of course the bass response, now it becomes consistent with the mid-bass slam as well as the rumble of the sub-lows. While it is mid-bass slam heavy, but it definitely more consistently gives you those rumble of the sub-lows wherever it is necessary. So overall, this just needs a bit of help from a preset EQ, or if you know how to tweak the equalizer, you should do that and bring out the best that these can give you. So just to summarize, the ARTTI TR1 hybrid in-ear monitors is definitely something that a beginner audiophile or someone who's just getting into in-ear monitors can pick. Of course, these are not the cheapest, but it is capable of giving you a very immersive sound, with the only caveat that you need to tweak the equalizer or use a preset to get the best out of these. And I don't think that's asking too much, because once you do that, you get a very immersive, very hefty sound response. So that's when this hybrid configuration really comes into play and does justice. So there you have it, guys. That was my unbiased and in-depth review of the ARTTI TR1 hybrid in-ear monitors. If you have any questions regarding this, please hit me up in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. And the link to the ARTTI TR1 will be in the description below. I would really appreciate if you use that link to make your purchase. It won't cost you anything extra. It never does, but it will help me run my channel and I can produce more such high quality and helpful content just for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with your friends, and as always, I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.